Chapter 2. "Can you just open the door?" Trayvon asked through the phone. "I left my key to your place back at home." I nod on the inside of my cheek and walked to my bedroom door, hand on the handle, heart thrashing against my ribcage. "Hello," he said, a hint of annoyance in his voice. "Hi, I pressed my ear to my cold door, listening to the light hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. No talking, no shuffling. Maybe they weren't here. "Give me a second." After peeking my head out and gazing down the empty hallway, I tiptoed to the kitchen. Shadows from the cabinets loomed over me in the darkness, but at least it wasn't Eros's shadow. I stood on my toes and checked through the peephole. In the brightly lit hallway, Trayvon had his hands stuffed in his pockets and his eyes shielded by the navy baseball cap I had given him for his birthday last year. But still, I waited. I didn't need this to be some sort of prank and have Eros appearing out of nowhere. When Trayvon looked straight at the peephole with the most heavenly brown eyes I had ever seen, I pulled open the door, wrapped my hand around his wrist, and yanked him inside. "What the fu—" He stumbled forward. I slammed the door. "Sorry," I said, standing on my toes and kissing him. "Is everything okay, babe?" He tilted his head to the side slightly, like he did when he was thinking, and eyed me. His bitter scent of beer sickened me. I licked my lips nervously, nodded my head, and pulled him into my room. Another door Eros would have to get through to get to me. Trayvon tossed his hat onto my dresser. "You haven't returned any of my calls or texts since yesterday morning." "I've just been busy with my psych internship and, stuff. Like trying to hide from Eros. Maria had him and his roommates over all day yesterday, and even for breakfast this morning. I couldn't handle it anymore. If I saw him one more time, I was going to—" Trayvon threw his shirt onto the end of my bed and crawled under the blanket, the light from the candle flickering against his brown and brawny abdomen. "I know when you're lying." The wind whistled lowly, blowing the curtains away from the window and brushing against the side of my bed. Outside, the city night was unusually quiet. I parted my lips to speak, then closed them. What was I going to say? That an undeniably sexy man moved in next door, and he just so happened to have the hots for me? No. No way I would do that to Trayvon. He had known me since we were kids, helped me through my mom's death, was one of the only constant people in my life that I cherished. I just haven't been getting much sleep lately. It wasn't a lie. For the past few nights, I'd been tossing and turning. Last night was the worst. My mind kept replaying the interaction I had with Eros, over and over. The thought, his promise, wouldn't leave me alone. And it was getting too damn frustrating. Light from my candles glimmered off my black headboard. Trayvon leaned against it, crossing one leg over the other. He grabbed my hand, pulling it away from my necklace. "If you keep doing that, you're going to break it again." He pulled me down next to him. Like I had done nearly every night for the past 5 years, I curled into him, resting my head on his bare chest. He laced his fingers into my hair and scratched lightly. I sighed and drew my finger across the only tattoo he had on his body, a Tabono symbol that he got on his chest after winning his first college wrestling match. "So when were you going to tell me you got new neighbors?" Don't stutter, Danny. It'll make you seem like you're hiding something." "Didn't think you'd care. They seem annoying." "You met them?" "Just once. Maria brought them over," I said, brushing my finger across my hand where Eros had kissed, the skin burning lightly. "How do you know about them?" "I met one of them out in the hall," he said. God, if he met Eros, Ian, or Evan. Nah, that's it. It was Eros. Seems pretty chill. Oh, my lord. I licked my lips and sat up, intertwining my fingers with his. What did he say? Nothing. I told him that you were my girlfriend, though. He trailed his hand alongside my forearm, sending goosebumps up it, and smiled. Just so he won't get the urge to hit on you. If he only knew that Eros had already made it perfectly clear that he wanted me. Trayvon brushed his lips against my cheek, toying with the ends of my shirt. I wouldn't be surprised if he still tried, though. You're hot as hell. I pushed him away playfully and blew out the candle. Okay, good. He didn't know anything, and it would stay that way because nothing would happen between us. Nothing. When Trayvon wrapped an arm around my waist and his breath evened out, I listened to the soft sound of his snoring. I tried to fall asleep, but light was now blaring under my door. And even with Trayvon's arms wrapped tightly around me and his breath fanning my neck, I felt unbelievably cold. Lips brushed against my collarbone, setting it ablaze. Oh, Danny. Eros murmured against my skin. The room smelled of cinnamon and vanilla, a striking scent. His fingers grazed down the center of my chest and over my breast. Your skin is so soft, tender. A breathy moan escaped my lips, and I sunk into my plush sheets. He dipped his fingers between my legs and gently rubbed my red, lacy underwear. Imagine what I could do to it. Moonlight filed through the sheer curtains, illuminating his sharp features. He slipped his fingers inside of me and smirked against my neck. I gripped his shoulders, digging my nails into him. Eros, I breathed, throwing my head back. His lips, quickly, hungrily, brutally, traveled down my chest and stomach, up the insides of my thighs, hovered between my panties, and teased me with their heat. In one swoop, he clenched my panties in his hand and ripped them off of me, leaving me bare. He gazed up at me, eyes completely black, so big and bold, so absolutely terrifying, yet so damn sexy. Is this what you want, Danny? He mumbled against my aching core. Slowly, he drew his fingers down the insides of my thighs.
This section was removed because it includes an explicit sex scene. Unfortunately, some platforms don't allow such material. To listen to it uncensored, go to reamstories.com/EmiliaRoseAudio and subscribe. You've reached the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. To get up to 4 weeks additional uncensored content, subscribe to the podcast at reamstories.com/EmiliaRoseAudio. Due to content restrictions, explicit sex scenes will only be available through Ream. But if you'd like to continue listening to my free episodes, make sure to hit the follow button to receive updates.